Probably drank like a quarter of my cup. Now it takes 20 seconds to, I'm gonna go get some more. I'll be back. Oh. Yeah, it takes 20 seconds to load anyways. Boom. Oh, here we go. California, Texas. Sound out. Where are you coming from? We know a little bit more. We can let a few of you know what's going to be headed up your way. Florida, California, Texas, Florida, Massachusetts, Kentucky, Virginia. God bless you guys. Illinois. Our VOP family, sound out. Virginia. Oh, day of rest will do you some good, man. I'll tell you that. I'm too hyper, so you guys know. It's back to work. Wisconsin. Good morning. Detroit. New Hampshire. Always with us, New Hampshire. Texas. North Carolina. Here's our peeps. We love our North Carolina peeps. All right. Oklahoma. Wisconsin. Missouri. Look at that. We're making a point here. Look at all these people. God bless you guys. Got more Florida. Ohio. Another New Hampshire. Alabama. Look at that. Ohio. Again, good morning, Nancy. Yuma, Arizona. It's my neighbor. God bless you guys. Man, you guys are being assaulted like crazy too. Design distraction. Let's see. Denmark. Idaho. Niagara Falls, Colorado. There it is. There's America right there. There's America right there. And this is probably going to be one of the most important morning updates that you can have, considering how bad it is down here on this border. So now you have America. There's a lot going on. Not border related. Some of it and a lot of it exposes those that's perpetuated this invasion. It's crazy. One, you got Julian Assange. Everybody saw last night. I knew the moment it happened because my wife sleeps with that Rutley thing on for the past 7 days, watching to see what's going on because she's very big about free speech advocacy. So Julian was arrested, and the United States has an extradition treaty or something, or papers they served. I don't know. I know that he was arrested last night, and they want to bring him back to the United States. All I would say is I hope in my heart of hearts that you for someone publishing something that exposes evil people, you can't make an example out of those people unless you're going to give them a medal or award or maybe asylum and protection. So I do hope, regardless of everything, I would like to, you have to protect free speech and you have to protect people. If they're exposing evil shit and they know, and they can be the connecting dot, to hold powerful people accountable, you need to protect your journalists, man. Because right now in America, all your fake news media shit, all these people, guys, I mean, come on. If you need to be arresting anyone for doing shit that hurts people, you need to start arresting and detaining CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, all the mainstream media guys, because all they've done is divide, perpetuate division. They've lied. They've helped the government cover up government terrorism in America. I mean, this media is so complicit. It has nothing to do with the truth. So, you know, free speech, man. I hope they bring Julian here, and I hope he's protected. I hope someone's watching him right now. I really do kind of fear for him. No matter what, even if you're a part of evil and you touch and expose evil that big, I mean, there's going to be consequences to pay. So, you know, I think some of this is tied to Seth Rich. So, hopefully, we'll see what happens. Then you have Omar spouting off her religious stuff going over there. So now they're attacking religion over there. So got everybody going over there looking at that terrorist. And it's like, you know what, man? It's okay, yeah, we're doing that. Then you got AG Barr. Then you got there was spying. And then media goes out and says he didn't provide proof there was no spying. And then the other side goes out and says, doesn't matter what the Mueller probe says. Trump's guilty of colluding with Russia. There's delusion all around the table, and everybody's wrapped up in that. Then you got patriots from the Brexit movement. You see Miss Owens there. You want to talk about someone that, yeah, God bless that woman. Good. I'm glad to finally see the minorities step out from them Democrats have had the boots on the necks of the blacks and the migrants and the poor, and now they're just adding more migrants to it. You need to free those people. So I'm glad Candace stood up, spoke out. Truth resonated with everybody. So you got a lot going on. Everybody's looking around, and America's got all this stuff going on, but this is what hasn't stopped. The invasion hasn't stopped, guys. The invasion hasn't stopped. There's so much going on, so much to digest. Anyone that's trying to pay attention to everything, it's really overwhelming. I'm telling you, while all this is going on, they have done nothing to stop this invasion. There is nothing locking down the Mexican Highway 2. There is nothing shutting down Pima County, Arizona, where you have 16 illegal trafficking routes staged with humanitarian aid to get criminals around Border Patrol. Ground zero for child trafficking. They keep taking advantage of that non-existent barrier, non-existent Border Patrol, and non-existent military down there by Ajo. And there's some great agents we met and we love for them. We want you to pray for them every day. And they're just overwhelmed and tired. It never ends. It never ends. And you got to remember, you know, your Border Patrol, their families they're torn apart. Just like anyone who goes and actually serves and tries to do the right thing while the government's working against them, tying their hands, won't let them do their job. Won't let them protect us. They're not stopping any of these people from coming. You do have more groups conversion. They have another caravan. Remember, we told you this months ago. Pay attention. Go back to December videos when they told you the caravan was going away and we started putting our cams out to show you. And we did our Lukeville run where you guys saw the Mexican federales bust those caravans. It's crazy, man. But go back and look. You're going to get hit with another caravan's coming, another caravan's coming. If you're paying attention to border-related stuff, follow what we do. You'll know what's going on in Arizona. The Oscar de la Blue, the Border Network News, it's BNN, Border News Network, or Border Network News. I watched another one of his videos. Very informative. You're going to get to see that side, you know. And they're all human, you know. As long as I don't see people treating these individuals as anything other than human. Even the perverts and the sex offenders and the criminals we're trying to protect our families from, they're still human beings. They just got demons on them and they need Jesus. That's all it is. That's the cure for that shit right there, you know. All you need is Jesus, our opinion. But, you know, our opinion happens to be a fact to us. So, but you have all this going on. Look, it hasn't stopped. People are continuing to come. When they tell you that they've apprehended so far this year more than they did in 2017, so you're not even a quarter of the way through the year yet, technically, and you freaking, you know, what's that tell you? Well, they're only 30% effective on the overall border, less than 20% effective in Pima County, Arizona, and, you know, you have 1 million that got through. You have 1 million, 1.5 million that got through unintercepted. They weren't apprehended. They are hit all the time. They do not have the monitoring capabilities to stop anything or even record all these groups that are coming up. We've gone down there and shown you just how difficult it is to cover one section. And they took away their camera towers down there where you really needed them. And that would make a huge difference. But, you know, we saw when they first brought the cameras towers back and we were raising hell. Then you went out and the truck stops on the Mexican Highway 2. All of a sudden, I guess cartel money came up like that because they had brand new floodlights. Whole section lit up, which really makes the night vision and and camera's capabilities, it makes it real difficult. But they lit that whole section up right where they could run up under washes, you know, and flood out. You know, they can get anything behind the light to blind Border Patrol. And it's been a cat and mouse game down there, and they can't keep up and catch all these bad guys in camo sneaking across because they're getting hit with all these asylum seekers, you know. And they're not really asylum seekers. Really, at the end of the day, we got to stop saying that. What are they seeking asylum from? I don't understand. I don't see bombs dropping off in Guatemala. We got crime all over America. I mean, shit, what if all Americans went down to Guatemala seeking asylum from what's taking place in our country? You know, it's crazy. I don't see, you know, all they're doing is they're just pushing up the Democrat vote, period. That's a fact, guys. That's it. They can't let this political system die. You don't have an exciting election if you can't find a way to get people into the stadiums of Pocahontas, Bernie socialists, you know, I mean, you'll get a bunch of young, ill-informed people out there who are brainwashed and they won't know a single thing. They don't even know their rights. They'll scream and say all their rights have been stripped by President Trump. It's like, you don't even know your rights. And the government doesn't have any authority to strip your rights. Not when it's corrupt. So, I don't know. I'm just telling you right now, this keeps happening. They continue to come through. There's no help. Pima County's not doing anything. You know, all they're doing is cowering in their offices. They won't go to the border. They won't walk these trails from my home down to the border. Every person, every government official in Pima County, open border criminal, needs to come to my house and take a walk with me from my house all the way down to the border where there's no wall. Yeah. We can walk the very trail they come up to my home, through my home. Matter of fact, let's go up to Red Rock. Hey, how about this? Let's go up to Vico Valley. Let's go up right on the Phoenix boundary to show you how far these illegal trafficking routes are and where these cartel caves are, where these scouts are sitting, waving all these invaders through. These people coming in camouflage clothing are not asylum seekers. You don't even know who these million of people, there's 1 million there. You don't know who they are. You know where 376,000 came from. You know who they are and their names. Those were the ones that turned themselves in or were apprehended. They're not even getting 3 out of 10. Come on, do the math. It's a lot worse. They can't even monitor the whole border. And nothing's changing. Everyone's accepted the invasion. I think it's going to get a little bit better out here. I think it's going to get a little bit better out here. You can't deny our shit. We went out and busted our ass. And now you are in a conflict out here. Pima County, I mean, doesn't matter what Pima County government does at this point. It's going to get a little bit better out here. They've lost all their authority to say anything to us until they come and walk this trail that women and children are dragged through. Tell me how this is humane. You know? Make them sit there and lay out that child rape tree evidence where women and children raped in the desert. Make them look at it. Yeah. Make them see the consequences of their open border policies. We want that $1.4 million to be sent to the Sheriff's Department. We want additional funding. We want our Sheriff's Department to back Border Patrol. Get rid of all their open border deputies. I'm going to tell you something. Anyone that's for open borders, no. That's treason. If you're helping these people, if you're supporting these people that are allowing all these criminals to come in, you know what? You got to choose a side. You either want a wall, border patrol, a nation, sovereignty, or you want open borders and you want to be a globalist. If you want to be a globalist, you shouldn't be a sheriff deputy, you shouldn't be a cop, you shouldn't be a judge, you shouldn't be a politician, because this is America. You're supposed to be a constitutionalist, not a globalist. And then, you're going to have to start weeding these people out. Now, I know there's some great patriots inside even the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Don't think there isn't. I know an outstanding patriot, QAnon guy, great guy. Works for the Sheriff's Department, patriot, really good guy. He knows how I feel about this plan. This plan, as great as it is, if they go off and cut the head of the snake, this is the price America pays. Your fabric is changed forever, forever. Where are you going to go across the world and bring in people who think like Americans, who believe like Americans? Every culture has their own belief. And there's nothing wrong with that, unless your belief is trying to destroy other cultures, then fuck, you need to be culled from the herd. Where are we going to find Americans? Because you know what? They're slaughtering all of our children. It's crazy how all these people line up to stop abortions for migrant women. Here, have the baby. We got funding for that. We'll help you. You don't have to abort your child because it was rape. We'll take care of your child. We'll put your child up for adoption, But American babies, no, we're going to chop you up. We're going to sell your parts. We're going to sell your adrenochrome. We're going to sell everything. Yeah. We're going to murder you after you've been born. And by the way, this is how America is. We're going to wait for politicians to pass a bill to save an infant that was just born from being murdered. We're going to sexualize our kids and put them out there. Dress little boys up as girls and little girls up as boys and promote that. Use children to promote perverted agendas, then leave our fucking kids alone. And Americans are waiting for politicians to stop all this nonsense. You need to cull the fucking herd yourself. There's so many more of you if they would just rise up and say, nah, man, right is right, wrong is wrong. Those brainwashed people will back down, and eventually they'll blend in and merge with the herd. They're just going to follow the bigger opinion. They have this illusion that a majority of Americans think what's going on is okay, and that's absolutely false. If that was true, we wouldn't have to be importing millions of migrants to beef up the Democrat Party. Not one of these people are going to go out and vote Republican, I can tell you that. Fuckers demanding. Go back in December when they demanded $50,000 a caravan. We want $50,000 or we're not turning around. What? These people aren't coming to help us. These people aren't fleeing anything. They're being used. At the end of the day, I don't hate these people. I'm not going to hate these people. That's how the devil wins. I don't want you to hate these people. God made all these people. Even the bad coming through, we're trying to stop. Pray they find Jesus, if anything. But we hate the things they do so much, we're not willing to have it come through our backyard. So I'm going to tell you something. They're all being used. They go out and publish a list of 187 George Soros-linked organizations promoting this invasion. And you go look at all those getting grants from counties, grants from states, grants from the federal government. Yeah. Go look at it. Both sides of the political spectrum keep these borders open. And guess what, America? When your borders get sealed back up, for every one American, there's going to be 3 non-Americans. that didn't come to America to assimilate, but came to get what they were promised. And then your borders are sealed. And you have no choice but to play the Republican and Democrat game. Yeah. This border should have been sealed a long time ago. It is an epic failure of President Trump. And where he's done amazing things, we praise that man. We thank that man. We still pray for that man. I don't believe he's being lied to. I think he knows this is exactly wide open. I think he won't tell America the truth, that they don't have the ability to secure the border unless they bring all of our troops home and stop funding all these other nations. They don't have the ability unless the American people build a massive volunteer force to be boots on the ground in support of protecting our border and preventing people from crossing over. They're not preventing them from crossing over. They're not allowed to prevent them from crossing over on the Mexican Highway 2. Now, you go down there and you drive that and you explain to me why our government would not allow them to stop from pouring across right there. Why are they tearing down old walls and putting new walls there instead of putting new walls right where they're crossing? Why are they busting up caravans to an area in Texas and an area over in California where the walls are going up and where the military puts on a show? Why are they doing that and not putting any resources at ground zero in Arizona for child trafficking? You had a CMEX child trafficking camp, a sex camp, period. That's what that was. That wasn't a homeless camp. That was allowed to exist because of this county, because of these open border policies. It allows dark shit to take place in dark places. People, and that was in your face. That was right on I-19. Millions of people went right past that child sex camp daily, just pouring. Not even knowing, not 100 yards off the highway, underground is a septic tank where children were stuffed underground. Then you go out and you find after that rape trees. You go down to Lukeville. This is what we did. After that, you want to say it's a homeless camp? You want to fucking lie? I'm going to show you it's not. And we did. I want you guys to see something. If you're new, we showed them it wasn't. This is where CMEX was, red dot. They said there's no evidence of human trafficking. No human smugglers or anything go through that area. Chief Magnus says no evidence. Well, this is the illegal trafficking route staged by Humane Borders with humanitarian aid. Every red dot is an illegal death. They're CMEX. And the Andras admitted to the police they were helping poor migrants from Mexico. Well, Mexico's right there where there's no wall. No wall section running right through there. You can just run right up through here. They got it staged. They said that didn't exist. And then we find out an elementary school put on lockdown repeatedly because illegals are coming all the way up. And they have to say school on lockdown because of illegal activity. They're not allowed to say because illegals are invading our school, basically. That's what's happening. They're staged by Pima County Democrats providing the funding for these humanitarian aid stations. They're staged to send these guys right. And this school, these kids, I'm sorry. Yeah, in America, our school's on lockdown because of illegals. It happens repeatedly every year, and the media never covers the story because it's illegals and open border policies. And the Pima County Board of Supervisors rejected border security funding and doubled down on funding to stage illegals and to help migrants take away. We don't even have good roads. And then up here where I live, 35 cartel nest spotting positions right here south of my home. Trail cam footage from this whole section grid right here. Every trail cam video you guys see is all right here. But they said that there was no trafficking up there. It was all made up. We've been invaded. And they will do nothing about Lukeville, where the wall stops. Child trafficking starts. Rape trees start. Serial rapists jump off the Mexican Highway 2. rape the woman or child they help bring up here, and then they hop back over there to get the next one. There's sick shit going on down there. And this little fence is not going to stop anything on this damn highway. Those Normandy barriers are not going to stop anyone from just walking right over there. You got 95 miles of this shit with no border patrol, no barrier, and no military. Systematically, you are being invaded, told to look one way, told to look another way. Meanwhile, we're showing you how they are not stopping the invaders, how they're not telling you the truth. And on America's border security, on making America safe again, Trump gets freaking F, guys. What he's done is hurt us. He told everybody those caravans went away, and our neighbors just went back to their daily business. No one's coming. Meanwhile, we got invaded. More Americans got killed. More law enforcement got killed. More children got raped because they said they beat the caravan back. Then we beat another caravan back. And the military is on the border. We ended catch and release. Mexico now has to take care of the asylum seekers. We're shutting the border down next week if Mexico doesn't do something. Mexico has a year to get the drug trafficking under control. We're going to 25% tariff their automobiles and make a lot of money and hurt them economically. So they have another year to poison our people. And they use children to transport these drugs. We've got video evidence of that, so fuck you. That's child trafficking. You're making a drug trafficker after a child, or out of a child. It don't make no sense to me. But you got another year to keep using children to transport drugs up through our neighborhood. That's bullshit. That's not good at all. This ain't good. And those things make us weak. And then when everyone gets ready and they get fed up, and then he comes out and says, I'm shutting it down. Then he comes out and says, oh no, we got walls going up. Yes, they got walls replacing old walls. They haven't built any wall where it's necessary. Where Border Patrol is so, they're decimated out here, guys. They have to put on a good, happy face, but I can tell you something. Go down there and spend a few days picking up trash. I guarantee you an agent's going to come up, and you'll eventually see the same agent. You guys have a conversation. You ask them. You'll see it in their eyes. They're tired. They're beat. They're just destroyed. They don't have the support. It's a complete, utter meltdown. There's nothing they can do. They're just stuck in this humanitarian aid crisis, and they're having to knowingly watch all these wolves pour across, knowing that we're only going to be able to get a few groups here, a few groups here. All of our agents are tied up over here. They don't stand a chance. They got the cartels working against them, the United States federal government working against them, and American citizens working against them. And the American people have not stood up to go down and work for them. And if we can do what we can do to make this community safe, to get them the intelligence they need to keep them safe, then why the hell can't other Americans get out there and back Border Patrol and get off of the politics? Because your military's not on the border, guys. That's a lie. They're not allowed to stop anybody, guys. That's a lie. Well, good. Then help them catch the bad guys. Help them catch the bad guys. That's it. That's it. Let them know where the bad guys are coming in. Report to them. See something, say something. Don't go out and try to catch them yourself. Absolutely not. You don't have to. These guys are smart. These guys are smart. If we could force the Pima County Board of Supervisors to fund Operation Stone Garden and allow the Pima County Sheriff's Department, actually force them to use that funding to assist Border Patrol, well, good. Then they get another FLIR on their helicopter. Then they get all that overtime they can use because they got to go out in these remote areas. Then Border Patrol has backup. Then while they're handling this group and this humanitarian crisis, the sheriff's deputies can be out catching these fuckers crossing through my backyard. But the Pima County Sheriff's Department refuses to come out and address my family's issues about all these fuckers in camouflage clothing coming up where our child is, about the evidence that they've even crossed through, and they're headed up all the way to Red Rock. Not only has Marana been flooded, But Red Rock is getting hit, and it goes all the way up to Casa Grande. Guys, look on the map. It goes all the way up to Phoenix. Cartels have our desert. They designated all these national parks, and they're using tribal lands. The cartels had the tribes paid off. They own the tribes in Arizona. Why would the tribes back America after what the American government did to them? Fuck. I wouldn't. I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. I'm sorry for what the United States government did to you people. I think it's disgusting. But you're not the only ones. We're doing it to other people across the world, and it's getting ready to come back and hit us. So, hey, get your popcorn ready. While this side's getting their popcorn ready, waiting for a plan, the enemy's got their popcorn, and they're already eating it because their plan's been in motion. They've already successfully invaded us. 2 out of every 3 in America, 2 out of every 3 people aren't even Americans. They're not. Shit, add all the socialists and the people. If you're supporting Bernie Sanders, you're not an American. If you don't support the United States Constitution and living in a constitutional republic, not a democracy, a constitutional republic, you're not an American. Because that's how America was founded. That is what made America great. And if you're going to make America great again, you damn sure don't import a bunch of socialists, a bunch of slaves, a bunch of terrorists, a bunch of sex offenders, and throw them into our community and provide all this funding for them. They refuse to stop these caravans, and they lie to you guys and say that they've stopped them. Americans need to separate themselves from the flock at this point. You're either constitutionalist and you're a member of We the People and you've had enough and you're going to go and do something, or you're willing to accept what they're offering. A plan that's allowed invasion to happen this much and that many more Americans to die. And not only that, this plan has allowed children to be raped at an ungodly amount. The numbers are crazy with women and children that are getting raped now. Well, when you have not 100 more, not 1,000 more, not tens of thousands of more, when you have hundreds of thousands of more coming in at a given time, you're going to have that many more rapes occur because the numbers are increased. It's just common sense. And you have an ungodly amount of children getting raped and trafficked off to horrible places right now. That's what the plan's allowed to take place. And we're supposed to be patient. Look, man, I love the Q people. I love where we go one, we go all. Some of the most informed patriots. Love them to death. But I can't support them sitting back and trusting a plan and not getting off their ass and doing something. How much more research does one need to do? If you had to go past 5 feet down the rabbit hole, then guess what? I guess that first part wasn't sick enough, knowing what they're doing to children. Knowing how they covered up this sick shit they did to kids, guys. I'm telling you, these are the very people that want the open border policies. The UN has got their hands all over this. Soros is funding this like you wouldn't believe. Organizations have stepped up by the hundreds to aid invasion, and no patriot groups have stood up to obstruct those that are aiding the invasion. You all are frozen looking at a man to do something he said he was going to do repeatedly and he never did. And what he gave you was not what was required to stop this invasion. It was required to give you something to say, hey, I done something over here, or I done something over there. Every politician serving in Congress should be forced to go down to this border, forced to go down to child trafficking in Arizona, ground zero, go down to Lukeville, Ajo, where the Mexican Highway 2 is. You stand there with all the press, all the Congress, and you tell us how that keeps America safe. And you got sections of your entire border, 90% are just like this. How in the hell can you expect Border Patrol to stop anything when they're not even allowed to stop it to begin with? Why? They wouldn't have to walk far through that desert. You know what? And that's the sad part. You can go there right now, and I'm going to tell you something. Some of you guys, it'll bring you to tears. But you'll go down there, and you'll find these little baby bloomers. These little, just like, not just the infant diapers. You see all these little these clothes. These little, they're little babies. And you'll find this stuff under a rape tree, right off the fucking fence. It's just a little non-fence. But you can even go further north along trails and you'll still find child evidence that far north where they actually got through. And Border Patrol didn't get that group. And these people think they just got to cross the mountain to get to Phoenix. They're being lied to and used. And you have perverts on these trails raping these women and children. We'll guide you through safely. Yeah. Don't worry, Humane Borders will make sure you have contraceptives. Our government makes sure we finance and give women and children contraceptives and a morning after pill. Make sure they have a dozen of those morning after pills because they're going to get raped. They're going to need one. Moving fast, 12-day journey up to Phoenix. Some of these routes are quick-moving routes. 12-day Phoenix. So yeah, let's give them 12 morning after pills because every night they're going to get fucking raped. These perverts don't care about these women and kids. You don't understand the sick shit they do to them. It's crazy. Children are being sex trafficked. Watch Border Network News. I mean, shit, you know the great part about that is you can actually get inside and see what these asylum seekers, I mean, you actually get to get inside and see. And guess what? He'll catch a lot of the ones that haven't been coached. They haven't been coached. You get a lot of them say, I want to come up to have a better life for my family. I think that's great. That's great. Well, guess what? There's millions of more like you waiting in fucking line doing it legally. They're coming in the right way. Why aren't you doing it that way? What's good of having laws if you make laws that circumvent laws? Then your laws are no longer laws. And that's the problem when you have a bunch of lawyers and fucking doctors running your country. The lawyer part is how they get you. Yeah, crazy. Free Assange. I do personally. Whether this guy is even on the dark side, what he knows exposes even darker shit. I want him free because you know what? You should not be publishers. I'm gonna tell you, journalists, people that go out, whistleblowers should not be persecuted. If you make it to where people are afraid to stand up and call someone out for the evil they're doing, then guess what? Evil is going to continue to perpetuate and get worse and worse. And what our government does is they wrap up all their evil, sick crimes under national security whenever it gets exposed. And then the people who expose it, they end up committing suicide. They shot themselves in the back of the head twice. They drowned themselves in the bathtub. They hung themselves from a doorknob. That man's been sitting in a fucking room for 7 years, and these journalists in America continue to lie to America and divide. These are the terrorists. You're journalists in America. A majority of those mainstream media, you only got a few left, guys, that's going to absolutely just report the truth and let you make up your own mind, not try to sway you to one side or the other. Fuck that. Tell everybody the whole truth, what both sides are doing. How both sides are playing them, and then let them make up their mind. Maybe they don't want to choose a side. That's good, because then if they don't look this way and they don't look that way, they're going to look around them and find out, okay, I got other people like me. We'll make our own side, we the people. American loyalists. Yeah, free Assange. It's my opinion. President should protect him. He should be offered asylum, if anybody. Our journalists should be freaking in jail. These people have gone out and lied. These people have worked with politicians and lied, and that is treason in itself. When the fucking media goes out and tells you a lie about crimes that didn't take place, report it as fact, that is treason. Especially when it is designed to override and overthrow an individual in the White House, whether you like him or not. I don't give a shit. I don't like what he does on the border. I can't stand it. It makes me sick to my stomach. But you know what? That guy's a saint. When I look back at Obama and Bush and Clinton and Bush, fuck you. At least that guy will say shit when nobody else would. And it's counterproductive because it fires everyone up and gets them frozen, but our job's to get them unfrozen. At least he's woken all these people up. We have more people to select and choose from. You just saw the beginning of the video all over the United States. We've had volunteers come down from 38 states. It's crazy, man. So pray for Assange. And I see his mom, they're saying no extradition to U.S. Look, man, if the president's going to protect him, and he's going to tell, and we're going to get to the bottom, and that's that missing piece they need, then good. But everyone needs to understand, if you're spending all your time looking at that, you're not paying attention to what else is going on. You've got Omar doing this. What she's doing is not good. You've got this shit on the border. That's the death of America. Pick your poison. You lose your First Amendment, they try to take your Second Amendment, or you lose your country. What the fuck do you do? Rules of three. You're being attacked, you're being distracted and divided. And you know what? We want to jump in on these other fights. I would love to have the time to go out and stand outside an abortion clinic nonstop. Do the old school protesting we used to do. Get it? I mean, we surrounded a Mexican consulate in Raleigh, North Carolina when they had Andrew Tamarisi there. And we kept surrounding it, and they had to shut it down and move it to Yonkers. And then I raised the American flag at the Mexican consulate that got shut down. Yeah, you can go out strength in numbers if you execute it peacefully and smart and make a big difference. We made it so uncomfortable for them that they had to move their whole shit. I'd love to go out and do that to an abortion clinic right now. Our babies are being slaughtered. That's not my call to go out and do. I'm out in the children crying in the desert. Basically that. I got my own trigger. I saw my city cover up illegal child trafficking, connected to the border, connected to the reservations, the cartels utilizing CMEX properties. Not good. I wasn't shown that to stop doing what I'm doing and walk away and forget about all these kids. Because if we're not out here, they're going to be able to build another underground septic tank. And guess what? There could be other ones out there we haven't found yet. We already know there's stash houses out there. We already know they put these kids in caves and mines sometimes. You don't understand. When you got 22,000 fucking caves and mines, it's really hard to find out where they are. And we're trying to narrow it down. A wall would be huge. Border Patrol and military on the border would be huge. You don't wait to fix unconstitutional laws and allow an invasion to come in. You stop the invasion, then you fix the laws. Your laws are null and void. They violate Article 4, Section 4. Any city member of Congress who swore an oath to the Constitution, you're in violation if you do not stop this invasion. You fix the laws after you stop them from coming. The consequences of what they've already allowed to come in, guys, millions of more Americans are going to die by the hands of illegals. Preventable murders, preventable rapes. I believe in using the second to protect, but the second protects the first. Our method is for people to use the first. To find a peaceful way, use your voice, strengthen numbers. Your second's behind you, backing you up. But you're the people. They need to listen to you. The sheepdogs are there to protect you. We don't put our sheepdogs in the front and make the no. Not when we can do it in a peaceful way. The second preserves the first. Your First Amendment is powerful because there's so many of you. You just saw all across the United States. We knew something had to be up because the anomaly of the phone calls that came in. I mean, you guys were shutting down and wreaking havoc on the Pima County Board of Supervisors phone lines. Do it again today. Day 3, we're going to reshare the video. Day 3, shut them down. Make them feel pain again today. Calls coming from all over. Let them know. They're making your state unsafe because they are aiding illegals. They are aiding illegal invaders with our tax dollars. Tell them you want it to stop. Tell them you want humane borders disbanded. Unable to operate their illegal trafficking routes. Tell them you want that $1.4 million to go to the sheriff's department. Force them out to give Border Patrol more resources. Are they going to do it? Who knows? But if you can't come down here and do what we're doing and you can't come down here and stop it, and that's the least you can do is pressure them enough to maybe force them to do something they don't want to do, good. Because I'm going to tell you something. If they don't want to do it, that means they're not American. They're not on our side. And you have people who hate America sitting in elected offices right now. They're sitting. They're representatives. They're in the Senate. They're in the Congress. These are people who hate America. Representing America. It's not how it works. Nope. Not just Democrats. Some of you must be new. Both sides. Not just Democrats. Hey, there's Democrats out here volunteering with us, helping us. Hey, you know that? Registered Democrats. Crazy, huh? Democrats and liberals, man, they were out there helping us look for homeless veterans and take care of homeless veterans. Isn't that nuts? There's good and bad in both sides. To put one side up as if it's righteous and the other side up as if it's wretched is dishonest. Absolutely dishonest. It's hypocrisy. And what did Christ say about being a hypocrite? No, both sides are guilty. Both sides rely on the other's existence to keep you in your place divided. Divided. And now the Americans that they've already successfully divided has just seen their numbers grow by millions. And they're still coming. They're separating you. And you don't see it happening. We tell you to separate yourself from the flock for good reason. I mean, it'll protect you. I'm telling you. Separate yourself from the flock. If you're part of a patriot group and they're not doing nothing but politics and you don't see them out helping the poor, you don't see them out practicing what they preach, you're going to bitch about homeless veterans not getting funding, then get out and help homeless veterans. We did, still do, still have homeless connected through Bravo taking care of homeless. Don't talk, walk. And if you don't have nothing but talkers around you and you don't have walkers going out there and showing you the good fruits every day, then you're not in the right herd. Separate yourself from the flock. They have you separated, and now you're being invaded, and it's going to get worse. It's a lot different when you take our countrymen and you separate them from left to right. And these people on the left still enjoy all the American shit, but they'll go out and say they hate America and they want more stuff, and these racist people over here, I mean, they'll just brainwash. So they separate you. Well, most of those people over there, they're not going to take up arms against these people over here. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen, you know. They're not going to take it. I mean, you had minor incidents with all this hate that the media does. You've only had a few incidents where you've actually had the left and the right take up arms against each other. But what happens when the left was separated by Donald Trump and he severed their flock? And all the blacks and Hispanics and everybody that was oppressed by the Democrats, they went over here. Brexit is huge. That's why they need all these migrant votes. That woman, Miss Owens, and a lot of others, I mean, yeah, they'll go down as history as actually freeing the black slaves in America and giving them their voice back. And you know what? I think that's amazing. It's beautiful. We grew up in a culture where it was like, you know, those people, they breed like cockroaches. Oh, they're all on welfare. Oh, look at their ghettos. Look at their communities. Look at the violence. Look at the black on black crime. You know what you're going to see happen because of the results of what Brexit is? You're going to see that community continue to heal. And then you watch where the people walked away, in the areas they walked away, you're going to see the crime, the suffering, you're going to see all that go away. The flocks are being separated before your eyes in so many areas, and they have a majority pinned down, not knowing what to do. I don't care what you do, just take a step towards righteousness. Go fight the slaughtering of babies at Planned Parenthood. Go come down, help us secure this border. Go fight the media narratives, all the lies. Get out there and show Americans the truth that the media won't tell you. Go do something. Go do anything. So those of us that are few on this border doing everything we can to tell you the truth and to not just protect our families. We don't want any more angel families. I don't want to see no more of our children get raped, murdered. I don't want them to see it get trafficked out of our country. Our team could be down here. You never know. You could have someone bringing a child, right? It could be your child. Us being out here was that one chance of intercepting that child. We'll go out there every day. Traffic goes both ways, America. We don't want to see that happen. But we would love to see more Americans. If they can't get out here and do something here, go do something somewhere else. Get engaged. And sharing videos and all that stuff, if that's the most you can do, then keep it focused, keep the narratives, keep the talk, and just share the truth. Just shed the light. You don't have to defend the light. The light requires no defense. You just shine the damn light. What do you think we've been doing? Shine the light. The light requires no defense. It's the dark that's exposed. You have to go out and do something. That's all we're asking. And then our volunteers, when we go and see these, I mean, there's so much stuff that bothers us too, guys. This murdering of unborn children has gone from, well, it happens right after a woman is raped or because of incest or the minute her life is at risk. Was the original fucking argument to where now we deliver a child to full term and we keep it comfortable while it fucking dies. Man, look, that shit bothers us too. And you know, I'm tell you something, this is an offense to God. And if you don't get out there and stop that, God can't protect you. God can't heal this nation. We can't stop an invasion unless people get out and shine the light in all the other areas they don't want you shining the light out. Go out and protect our children. Find the perverts in your community. You can do that. Make sure these children, these migrant children that are being sent off, the government doesn't have the resources. Find these children. They're being sent to perverts. Do something, rescue a child. Go in your city, pull a homeless child off the streets. Pull a homeless family off the streets. Your churches are taking care of all the invaders. If you don't go and take care of the ones that were forsaken, they're your biggest asset. They're your biggest ally. Who do you think is going to be able to take care of you when the shit hits the fan and you don't have an infrastructure? Because that's exactly where we're headed. Who do you think is going to be able to take care of you? Those militias that spent 90% of their time in climate control, driving their nice trucks, going out once a month to play with their toys and look cool on Facebook? Or that homeless veteran that lived out there for 20 fucking years without air conditioning, running water? He knows how to survive. He's acclimated to the weather. The poor are the most blessed because the times come where they're the most prepared. They're the most prepared. Americans don't know the suffering that they're getting ready to hit. They're the most prepared. Go do something. Helping an American, go out and helping an American is a great thing. Because guess what? Our government's helping all the invaders. And bitching about it doesn't change the fact that our Americans aren't getting help. Get out and help them. Coming down to occupy a section of the border, it's a great thing. Because our government's allowing this invasion to take place. Bitching about it's not going to stop it. Getting down here to occupy the border may. And it will in a lot of areas. But most importantly, you can make both sides do their damn job. And you'll save so many women and children from getting raped. And we can cut it off right now. Because guess what? Every day you wait, the problem compounds, and we already don't have the ability to deport the amount that we have in this country right now without a major civil war. And that's what they want. That's what they want. And one side's going to say no fucking amnesty, and the other guy's going to say amnesty for all, and you're going to have a war. And guess what happens? Americans who don't want amnesty are outnumbered 3-1 now. It's just going to be up by the time it hits that level. Doesn't matter what you want anymore, America. You've allowed these invaders to infiltrate our government. You've allowed this government to go out and perpetuate crimes across the war. We are reaping what we sow. God told you this time was going to come, but he didn't tell you not to stand up and fight back. Why don't you get out and fight back for God? He don't want these children to be raped, sacrificed, and sent to the wolves like they are. That's the biggest evil. Stop the slaughter of the innocents. That is the purest light we have in the world. Trust me, that's how I got mine back. It was through my daughter. I had no hope. I had nothing. Then I had a child, and all of a sudden there's a light that you couldn't even fucking imagine if you came where I came from. You're slaughtering that light. The world is getting darker. Go out and fight for the children. There's many ways you can fight for the children. 3 ways. We just told you. Get on your streets and help a homeless American child. Get out here on the border. Help a migrant child. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it don't matter. Black, white, brown, even American, a child's a child. A child's a child. And then get out there in America and don't let them take the narrative away from the child. You're not going to go from dark to light when you're slaughtering the light. It's not how it works. You have to stop this sick shit they're doing to kids. Get active. That's it. Just get active. Go do. That's all you got to do. Put God in front of you and go do. We're going to keep doing. We need to get out of the UN. Everyone says we should be out of the UN. The number of... Guess what, though? Guess what? Pretty soon, 3 out of 1 are going to be Americans in America. Guess who helped them get over here? The UN. Guess what they're not going to do? Allow America to get out of the UN. How are they going to do that? They're going to get elected. How's that going to happen? Well, look how Omar got elected. Look how AOC got elected. Look how Ashisa Habiba, whatever the fuck, whoever she is, look how she got elected. You're looking at all these people that got elected because they've already imported the people they need to elect them. These aren't people who love America. They don't even want to swear an oath on a Bible to the Constitution as we are founded. They want to change our cultures. They want to implement Sharia law. And if you think all the Muslims in America are good with that, then you obviously don't talk to Muslims. You don't understand whether people on the right are so stupid. All Muslims are terrorists. No, they're fucking not. Tell me that shit. I know plenty of Muslim families. They were out helping us. They were out helping us take care of the poor. They were bringing food and clothing and blankets to the homeless veterans. But they hate America so much that they'll come and give a charity and a gift. Oh, yeah. Not all are good, not all are bad. Separate yourself from the flock, and then when you're separated, you don't look at the person next to you based on their skin color or their belief. It's their actions. Are they trying to hurt someone or are they trying to help someone? If they're trying to hurt someone, you don't want them with you. It's what you got sheepdogs for. Their job's to keep those people away. But you have to choose and separate for yourself. Discernment. If they're trying to help people, it doesn't matter what they believe in. If their actions go out and they're helping and they're not doing nothing to hurt anybody, then you can't lump them in and call them all fucking terrorists. They divide you that way and you lose millions of Muslims who don't want Islamic and Sharia law. Just assuming because they're Muslim that they want that shit. Do you know how many of their own people get slaughtered? Because they refuse to bow down to that? Come on, man. Those are numbers. You have strength in numbers. If they have you divided and looking at everyone as something, you can't get anyone from that group. And you can't do good things with those people. And you don't even give them a chance to do the right thing because you automatically wipe them off and say, nope. And separate yourself from the flock because you're being separated. Listen to everything you heard. You're being invaded still. And no matter how this plays out, we could have the greatest economy in the world. But America's been invaded and Americans are outnumbered and more are coming. And they have no plan. They have no plan to get any of these people out. So they're here to stay. And they're going to get tuition. They're going to get medical. And the people on the right are going to be so inflamed. And that hatred's going to build up. And then everyone's going to get lumped over here. And then you're going to have big things happening that's not good. Separate yourself from the flocks and the politics. Don't get caught up in that. There are people who've been preparing for years across this country. We know. I mean, especially those of you in NC. So you know how our family was with preparing, freedom shelter, set up, shit hits the fan, we got a plan. I tell everybody, prepare, make a plan for your family. Then you won't be afraid to go out there and face the evil because you know you have a plan to survive the consequences of the rest of America not standing up to face the evil. Either way, the battle's lost, but the big war is won. God says that. The battle for this world to choose righteousness and God is over. God's going to come down. You wait, New York. You fucking wait. Oh. You wait. Other areas too. Arizona. You think he's not going to want retribution for every one of these children that were raped? Praying? You know some of those kids would be looking up. Something's got to be out there good. Why is this happening to me? Help me. They don't understand what's going on to them. They're just being used. Yeah. You'll reap for allowing that to happen too. It's not good. We need to get out and plant good seeds. You guys need to get out and plant seeds. We've allowed too much evil to take place. We're continuing to allow the evil to take place. If you're not going to get up and stand and obstruct and stop the evil from taking place, then get out and plant good seeds because we need a good harvest. We really need a good harvest. We need a good harvest where God can at least protect sections of America, and then we'll let the world know. Well, look, if God isn't real, then why is this section over here still America and these people chose the devil? And why is that section over there burning, fire and brimstone? Explain that to me. Get out and plant good seeds in your section. There's spots all over the globe. God will protect you, but you have to go out and plant good seeds. That's it, guys. I'm the most wretched motherfucker. There should be, where the hell's our evangelists and our pastors and everybody? I mean, look, man, guys, I'm telling you. There's people far more righteous than I've ever been in my life, and I don't know where they are, but you must be blind. What the hell's the matter with you? Get out and do good, because we are allowing evil to take place at greater numbers now, while everyone's waiting for the head of the snake to get cut off. Your body's already infected with a virus that destroys it from within, and you can build all the walls you want. In a few more months, it's not going to matter. In a few more months, VOP will be saying, tear down the fucking walls. Give Americans a chance to get the hell out. Because you just outnumbered us with our own enemy and people that want to change us. And we've got all these wolves in our community raping and murdering our women and children. And it's too late. You can't get on the border and stop it then. Get out of the UN while you can. Force them to, man. All that is your globalist military-industrial complex. Financed by the United States, Israel, Russia, and China. That's all that shit really is, guys. I mean, come on. America has no business being in that. It has nothing to do with our Constitution. The UN is not spreading a constitutional republic. America is a constitutional republic. We have no business being in there. We're not making other nations constitutional republics. We can't even operate ourselves as a constitutional republic. Biggest hypocrites in the world. Get out and do good. It's my message to you today. Go out and please do something good. Dude, fight back some way. Don't forget to call the Pima County Board of Supervisors. Tell them you want Operation Stone Garden financed. You want that $1.4 million to get over to the Sheriff's Department. You want more funding. You want whatever funding they send to humane borders and open border groups to perpetuate child trafficking across the Arizona desert where rape trees have been documented. You want them to cut all that funding and send it over to the Sheriff's Department so they can use it for overtime and to get boots on the ground to help Border Patrol. Border Patrol is outnumbered in Pima County. They've designed and they cut off any support for our BP agents. We got to get them that support back because the American people sure as hell aren't willing to sacrifice to get down here to give them that support. And we're limited with what we can do. If we can get the rest of America doing good somewhere else, sacrificing in some other way, you're going to put light in areas and you're going to save a lot of people. You got to separate yourself from the flock and go out and do something good. Is there any questions before I go? Questions. And the last one I see here is UN is run by Satanists. This entire world belongs to the devil. I don't see God in this world. The only time you see God is when you go out there and you go help someone suffering, man. Yeah, you'll see God then. You go help someone suffering. You go spend time with a mother who lost her son to suicide after they served this nation because our own fucking government wouldn't give them what they need. But they used them up too. Spend time with a grieving mom. You'll see God because that's a love. But it's also a despair. And how do you think God feels about what we're doing to our own children? Oh, man. When that wrath comes out, man, I just pray Jesus comes back soon. All right, UN with Satanists. I'm going through. Thank you for the prayers. You have a blessed day, too. Repeat what I said to tell Pima County. We want them to fund Operation Stone Garden. Stop funding humane borders. We want all funding to open border groups that provide aid to illegals. They'll say poor migrants. These people are coming in illegally on these trails. You want Border Patrol to have the resources that the Sheriff's Department can provide. If Pima County gives them the funding, the $1.4 million, it's not too late for them to say they're sorry and go back. I'm pretty sure if the president really wants to shut down Pima County, if that's what they really want to do, guys, there's a reason why everyone has to take steps here. Think. You know how we operate. Then the president would be able to get all kinds of funding over from the Pentagon to actually help Pima County. These laws and this red tape that prohibits the transfers of these funds are null and void, guys. They can do more than they tell you. They can shut the border down right now. They already told you that, actually. They can do what they tell you they can do. They're just not doing what they tell you they're doing. That's that. So, yeah, tell Pima County, the Board of Supervisors. I mean, shit, we don't even have money to fix our roads. That was free money. That's all it was a federal grant. Pinal County took their money. And you know what, Pinal County, north of us. Remember, I'm in Pima County. Here, I'll show you something real quick before I go. This is what we want. This is why we want this federal funding for BP. Pinal County's up here, guys, okay? Now, you have the TO reservation. This is all open borders, all right? Up here, they've intercepted, coming through Vico Valley, they've intercepted cartels on the mountains living in caves with counter surveillance equipment, waving traffic through up to Phoenix. Waving drugs through, getting criminals around Border Patrol up to Phoenix. All right? Now, Pinal County, the sheriff's deputies ran a joint operation with Border Patrol, and because of that funding, they were able to get a bigger group together and catch these sons of bitches. Pima County won't release that funding. They rejected that funding. So our sheriff's departments could go out, down, and we're south. How in the hell is Pinal County going to keep themselves safe when Pima County's not allowed to stop the invaders from coming through our county? They've got everything set up backwards and flipped down here, and we need to flip it back to where it belongs to protect Americans first. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we're going to protect America, then we need to make sure America deserves protection. And if America's going to allow our own unborn to be slaughtered at the rate they're slaughtering them, and now our newly born infants, if we're going to forsaken our own people and our own suffering on the streets and just spew hatred at the enemy and not stop to pick up the poor, not stop to help the afflicted, then what are we fighting for? What do we want God to protect us for? If we're not going to stop the evils we're doing, if we're not going to stand up and tell the military and industrial complex, guess what, guys? You're our bitch now. We want all of our troops home. We want all these wars stopped. We want you to apologize to the world, and you're going to secure our border while we get our shit together. We want everybody fired. Everybody fired. Special elections. Keep everyone out of America, the United States military, while we the people get together and convene and form a new government based on our Constitution that protects a Constitution republic. That's it. We want to be a constitutional republic. There is no better system out there. Capitalism. Greatest system in the world. We don't have capitalism. We have crony capitalism. Do we want God to come down and protect America's capitalism? Because he's not going to protect what we have right now. That's crony capitalism. That's all design. That's the love of money. It's the root of all evil. It leads to some of the sickest shit you'll ever see. You have to stand up and be a voice. Right now, they don't think, well, they're right. A majority of Americans are so fucking brainwashed and on entertainment and sports and trying to pay their bills and survive themselves that it don't matter that the wolves are surrounding them and coming in. They don't care. They've got blinders on or they're plugging their ears. So they know that, there's a lot more of you guys than you think. That's why I want you to go away with this video today, because my head's starting to hurt too much. There's a lot more than... You have more than you know. Look at how many of you sounding off from across America right now. Now imagine if everyone who said a state went out and did something to help someone in that state. Or made a call and told the Pima County Board of Supervisors that you want the Sheriff's Department funded to protect us from invasion, because these people are crossing through our county and they're murdering your people. And it doesn't matter where you come from. Because of their policies, they put your families at risk. If you've lost a loved one, let them know you're looking at suing them for financing illegal trafficking routes, because VOP has all the documentation, financial reports, the illegal trafficking routes, their maps, video evidence. Border Patrol can confirm all these criminals using these routes. These aren't asylum seekers. People are being fed a lie. Humanitarian aid is staged to drag women and children 60 miles into a desert. These aren't good people crossing. And if you lost a loved one, hey, maybe the threat of a lawsuit, maybe that'll make them say, oh shit, $1.4 million for the Sheriff's Department. It's not a whole lot of money. cutting the aid to Humane Borders and sending that over, that's a pretty good deal. And when we're looking at the loss of American lives because of what we've done, oh shit. Yeah, maybe that'll do it because these people are motivated by money, right? But you're going to have to make the pain outweigh all the benefits they're getting from the cartels and these open border policies. They're rotten fruits. No. You're going to have to make the pain expose their rotten fruits. And then they'll choose to do the right thing. You just got to keep pressuring them. And no one in the administration, no one in Congress can't say that we haven't done and tried every single reasonable thing to get them to abide by Article 4, Section 4. We still proceed with a peaceful non-engagement policy where we're not taking up arms against anyone, but we're going out and being boots on the ground, Johnny on the spot, providing help to Border Patrol wherever we can possibly provide help to them, waiting for the American people to decide what they want to do. At most, we'll just keep it out of our yard, and no one has a right to come down to our backyard, our community. No one can come into Marana, Arizona, and tell our church that we don't have a right to build a wall around our fucking community. That's what we're doing. A human wall, a camera wall, a drone wall. That's what we're doing. And then everybody who decided that they was going to allow it to go this far, do something now. Because we're showing you it can be done. We're showing you that we can be effective. Have we stopped it all? No, you see these groups coming through. Border Patrol got 18 out of over 100 on camera. From our count, from what they told us. 18 out of over 100. And the people that they're catching are the previously deported sex offenders, the criminals, the ones that can't come in an honest way. Those people got through. But you know what? No one would have known they gotten through if we weren't on the ground building our wall, doing what we're doing. And information is powerful. Everywhere you can shine a light on the dark and expose it, first you make it freeze and you fuck it up. You see what we do. We wreak havoc in the system because the system is so far corrupt. If you play by the system's rules, you can't even help anybody without asking for permission from the government. I don't need to ask permission from the government to go out and stop child trafficking in my backyard. Neither do you. Remember that. There is no law that justifies the government from stopping us from going out to protect us when the government is in violation of Article 4, Section 4. And we've done everything the people have asked us to do. No politicians have come out. We won't do the media because that's how the media plays you. Absolutely not. That's playing by the system's rules. But we've done everything, and we've provided evidence and proof of why we're needed out here. You guys can go out and do the same thing. Don't let it happen. The more you let in, the more they're going to be slaughtered. More Americans are going to die. More children are going to be raped. Come on, guys. These little kids are going to be murdered. You don't see illegal immigrants and legal children getting murdered across the table. And usually when it happens, guess what? It's an illegal who raped an illegal child. An anchor baby that they weren't even related to. You know, ICE has even told you. They've had to let criminals that have been previously deported come back in because the guy comes back in with a kid. And because of the laws, they say they have to let this guy come through. You know what? The Department of Homeland Security, if it's not allowed to protect us, then why the fuck are we funding it? And while one side wants to get rid of it, we're trying to get everyone to get on the fucking ground, make sure they can do their job. Because guess what? The elites don't want that. They want a Department of Homeland Security that's going to come in and oppress the people and assist the invaders. And that's what you have now. The only ones you have from DHS doing anything is ICE, and they have to put on a show so people can see all the bad guys getting caught, but they're not catching 1% of the criminals that have flooded into our communities. We need to get the American people
to stand up, see something, say something. Make them do their job. You have to fight back. That's it. I was going to leave 15 minutes ago. Patrick Grubb's question. All right, before I go, last one. I'm scrolling up. You don't have to be a vet to volunteer with Veterans on Patrol. You have to be a veteran to be on the veteran security team, to be full kit, or prior law enforcement, or one of our veterans say that you are trained and of the right mind, and they're comfortable going out with you full kit with them, because, you know, it's very rare. It is very rare. It's less than like maybe 5% of operations we've had people out in full kit. It's very rare. We go out unarmed almost 80% of the time. Literally. I mean, that's just, I mean, the way we operate, we get in and out. We use different tactics. People usually start running away when they hear the drones start buzzing toward them. They'll clear off the valley and the mountains as we move in. They'll see us coming from miles away. So we try to, we don't want to be in a situation where, you know, that you're in a firefight. But in areas where you have to be, we want to make sure you're a trained vet, you're prior law enforcement, you know what you're using, that our volunteers aren't going to be put at risk because you don't know what the hell you're doing, how to move in a group formation. If you want to learn that, then yes, we have people that will train you in that as you volunteer, but you won't be able to go out on certain missions that require that security. But you can go out with us. More than welcome to go out with us. You carry a sidearm and everything else like that. The visible people, let them be unarmed. They have sheepdogs watching over them from the mountains. So the way the staging is set up for the warfighter wall is, you know, we're not going and advancing guns at the cartel. That's not how we're getting them. We're going and occupying their areas. They don't want to be seen out here. We're picking up all their trash. They're watching us. We're putting cameras up there. They're still coming through the areas that we're putting cameras up on, you know. But we do things with different tactics and approach. I don't want anyone else to. I don't want to be the responsible person for anyone else suffering. There's enough shit going on. People are getting hurt. I don't want people to suffer. I want the people trying to stop us to go do something good. I don't want them to suffer, even all the shit they've done to us. I don't. FBI, all of them. I don't really want you to suffer. Right now, go do something good. You're trying to stop me. Right now, I've got these people aiding them. They need to be who I focus on. Pima County Board of Supervisors, Pima County Government, Pima County Attorney Barbara LaWall, Mayor Jonathan Rothschilds, all still down here running an open border and trying to force our city in Tucson to become a sanctuary city and providing all this funding for illegal invaders while denying our very poor and afflicted on our streets. Those are the people we need to focus on, you know. And so I just hope people that would come and try to stop us just go do something good, because if the government can't stop us, you sure as hell can't. You know, your little Facebook group has no power or authority whatsoever. It's on your mind. You have an opportunity to use it to get people together to go out and help people, or to get out together and go and stop people who are hurting people. And right now, you have your Pima County government hurting not only Americans that are suffering on our streets, but migrant women and children who get raped because of these illegal trafficking routes. They all need to be dismantled. Every blue flag, every trail marking, every food cache, all of that, their medical, everything needs to be dismantled. All counter surveillance equipment running on these mountains with these cartels, they all need to be dismantled. The cartel needs to be kicked out of our backyard and not allowed to come back in. And we are protected by the Constitution. We are guaranteed protection from invasion. We are being invaded every day. So we will go out and attack it this way. But no, that's the problem with my brain. Your question was, no, you don't have to be a vet to volunteer. But step away from politics, because that's the killer. Step away from politics. And I think that was it. Going to that feet. Okay. All right, I'm going to get ready to go back to work. This was long enough. I don't know what's going on with these videos. I know someone's recording this just in case. So if they don't post it, and we should have a recording. Mom, I'm getting ready to head. I got to go to work, man. There's stuff to do. Love you guys. God bless you. Go out and do something good today. Got to go.